Part 1. Diagnosis, the root cause of suffering. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, the two arrows. Hello, my fellow language learners and wisdom seekers. We're diving deep now into the core of Joseph Nguyen's revolutionary message. Don't believe everything you think. Let's start with a big idea that might sound a little bit controversial. We all know that life can be tough, right? We experience pain. A loved one moves away. We get a flat tire. We face a health scare. These events, these moments of pain, are an unavoidable part of the human experience. They are what they are. But here's the crucial distinction Joseph Nguyen wants us to grasp. Pain is mandatory, but suffering is not. What's the difference? Pain is the first arrow. It's the event itself. The flat tire, the layoff notice, the breakup. Suffering, on the other hand, is the second arrow. It's the emotional turmoil, the narrative you tell yourself, the analysis, the self-blame, the fear, and the worry you pile on top of the original event. The ancient Buddhist teaching uses this powerful image. When a person is struck by an arrow, they feel pain. If they are then struck by a second arrow, they feel twice the pain. The first arrow is the unavoidable physical or emotional pain of life. The second arrow is the suffering we inflict on ourselves through our reaction to the first. And here is the beautifully painful truth, shared by the great Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. People have a hard time letting go of their suffering. Out of fear of the unknown, they prefer suffering that is familiar. Think about that. We often cling to our suffering because at least it feels familiar. We'd rather keep wrestling with the monster we know than step into the uncertainty of peace. So, the big question is, how do we stop hitting ourselves with a second arrow? This book provides the simplest answer you'll ever hear. The ultimate root. We live in a world of thought. This is a chapter that will fundamentally change how you view your entire emotional life. Joseph Nguyen's message is this. The root cause of all psychological suffering, stress, anxiety, anger, self-doubt, jealousy, is only one thing: your own thinking. Your suffering is not coming from your bank account, your boss, your partner, or the weather. It is coming exclusively from the thoughts you are having about those things. Let me give you a powerful mental image. Imagine you and I are sitting in the same coffee shop right now. We're smelling the same rich aroma, hearing the same soft jazz, seeing the same people rush by. We are sharing the exact same external reality. But inside my head, I'm thinking, my life is a disaster. I'm behind on my goals. Everyone else has figured it out, but me. I'm tense, anxious, and deeply unhappy. Meanwhile, you're sitting there thinking, wow, this coffee is amazing. I love the smell of the rain. I feel so relaxed and grateful. You are calm, peaceful, and happy. The coffee shop is the same. The environment is the same. The difference? We are living in two completely different worlds of thought. This is what the spiritual teacher Sydney Banks meant when he said, thought is not reality, yet it is through thought that our realities are created. This means your current reality, your experience of life right now, is an inside-out phenomenon. You are only ever feeling the effect of your current thought in that moment. If you feel miserable, it's not because of the coffee shop. It's because you are having a miserable thought. And when that thought passes, your feeling will pass with it. The story of the empty boat. Who is truly making you angry? To really drive this point home, let's travel back in time for a beautiful Zen story that illustrates the power of our minds. There was a young, often irritable, Zen monk who found it impossible to meditate because he blamed everything outside of himself for his lack of peace. The birds, the wind, his noisy fellow monks. One day, he got so fed up that he rowed his small boat out into the middle of a large, perfectly still lake. Finally, he thought, pure silence. No one could disturb me here. He settled into his meditation, breathing deeply. Then, suddenly, his boat was jolted by a hard knock. The monk's eyes snapped open. He instantly became furious. How dare someone interrupt my peace? He leaped up, ready to scream at the negligent sailor who had crashed into him. He looked over the side of his boat, heart pounding with rage, and he saw that it was an empty boat, having drifted loose from its mooring and carried by the gentle current. There was no one inside. The monk froze. He slowly sat back down. In that instant, a profound insight struck him. The empty boat had no intention, no malice, and no power to make him angry. What made him angry was not the empty boat, but his own reaction to the empty boat. My friend, this is your life. Everything outside of you, every person, every event, every criticism, is an empty boat. They simply float by. They don't have the power to cause you suffering. Your suffering is entirely generated by the furious sailor inside your own head, the one who leaps up and starts yelling at the world. So, the mission is clear. We must stop believing that furious sailor. But why do we even have a sailor in our head to begin with? Next, we'll explore the mechanism of why we think and the crucial difference between a simple thought and active thinking, which is where the true suffering lies.